Today on Real Pilates, we're going to talk about muscles. So it's important that we understand that muscles are bundles of fibers that have little things, let's call them things, like two hair combs. Picture the comb of your hair. When you make a muscle contraction, those hair combs slide into each other. When you start to release the contraction, those hair combs come back. Those combs, muscle fibers, when you're just resting, need to be right there. That's their perfect length. When a muscle has fibers that are constantly contracting, like in weights, and they become so contracted that they no longer can come all the way in and come back out to their resting length. They go a little bit past and then come back. So they contract, stretch out, and then they come here. When you do stretching without a contraction and you stretch, like bringing your heel to your ass, which is forbidden, you've stretched out that fiber, and then that fiber loses the know-how, the remembrance, the memory of contracting all the way and coming back to its resting length. So a muscle has a perfect resting length. When you work with a spring, as Real Pilates only works with things that are springy, a ball, a magic circle, a towel, a spring, Reformer, Cadillac, Wunda chair. The pressure of the spring, as you pull on the spring pressure gets stronger and then easier. And when I force you to control the way back, right? As you pull on that spring, the way back is a very important part of the muscle contraction. The coming inward or concentric contraction and the going back, that eccentric contraction. So I always vary each week the speed of contraction. Sometimes we'll really do a fast contract with a slower uncontract or eccentric, and then vice versa, and all combinations up, so that I make sure that all the fiber in all your muscles stays springy, so that your muscles become tight, firm, super strong. You've seen the big guy that's so bulked up he can't even punch, can't even run, he can't even move because he's got so much muscle that it's contracted. And being springy is what gives you ranges of motion, agility. It makes you beautiful. It puts the bones into the position that they need to be in so that you have only good friction. Good muscle friction makes good bone sliding for good bone movement without bad friction. Muscles are designed to only pull. They don't push. Yes, pushing is chest and pulling is back. That's a gym thing. Forget that. If I have a muscle, all muscles cross a joint. Some muscles cross two. Let's talk about the muscle that crosses one. If the muscle starts at the top of the bone, it originates there. As the muscle contracts, it moves the joint. So if the bicep starts here, it crosses the elbow. All muscles cross joints. The top where it originates from never moves. It's the bottom. It's a different muscle that moves that whole part of the arm without getting crazy. Sometimes, like in my pecking corn series that I do, in all movements, in all modalities, I will change and we will hold that bottom insertion quiet and move the top so that we give more strength to the top. So the top of that muscle, as it moves the bottom where it crosses the joint, that top muscle has to stabilize and hold on to something so it can heave ho up my elbow, will bend and go. There are muscles that stabilize that muscle as it moves. So there are muscles that work to push against each other. There are muscles that work together to heave ho and bend that elbow, agonist, antagonist. So it's important that we get those stabilizing muscles super strong and the ones that push against as well. And so in the classes, I make sure that we strengthen the origin, the insertion, and we work all ranges in all ranges of motion throughout the whole spine in all the joints, connecting every movement back to the core. How wonderful is Pilates? Joe, we love you. Mwah. This is Pilates Master Nikki. We love muscles. We love Pilates. Thank you for joining. I'll see you real soon for another layer of real